Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and give you all a tutorial on how to be a correspondent and edit together videos. I know that all of our anchors and all of our reporters will be needing to know how to use Premiere Pro and also export for NewsWatch and be able to add lower thirds and everything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing that you're going to do when you open up Premiere is go to a new project. So right here it's going to bring up your title, and whatever you want to title it, that's fine. I'm just going to go NewsWatch, and then that'll be what I'm going to call this today. Also make sure to put everything in all caps. I will go and change it if not, but please remember that. It makes it a lot easier to see when we upload it to Dropbox. So I'm going to go ahead and use this Premiere Pro and create in my own folder. You can go here to new folder and do that. But it just makes it easier so you can keep everything organized, because you will be working on the same computer, so you have all your Adobe projects on that. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that, and then look here. So you want to look at the video, audio, and capture formatting. The display format should be timecode. Your display format for audio should be audio samples, and your capture format should be HDV, not DV. And then you can click OK, and we'll get started. So to import media, that's going to be the first thing you do. Your timeline, it's going to be right here. This is your program, so this is what your actual final project is going to look like. And this is your source, so that's where all your video is going to go, and then your effect controls are here. I'm going to go ahead and import some media. I just did this interview for a journalism class. I'm going to import that, and then this is just black video. So you can double click here to import. You can also go Command I, that'll open that up. Or you can go to here, File, and then Import. Just depending on there. I'm going to go ahead and create my own sequence. You can go Command M, or you can come here and go New, and go down to Sequence. And then I'll open that up. I usually go ahead and name it what I'm going to export it, so it makes it easier. You need to make sure to check that it, for right here, the sequence presets, is on HDV, and it's HDV 1080i 3060i. And then right here, this is your timeline. It's going to look a bit bigger. I'm using my own laptop, but it's going to look a bit bigger on y'all's desktops, so it'll be a lot easier to see. But first, I really just want to show you the basics of how to level out audio. So for a good rule of thumb is only have an interviewee up on the screen for about 5 seconds. So you need to make sure you get enough B-roll to be able to cover them once that. You can bring them up for 5 seconds on the original introduction, and then you need to bring them up maybe like 3 to 5 seconds for the rest of the time that you have them up. You need to make sure you have B-roll over them. That is just video that you captured to put over them so that you have a cohesive piece. Also, don't do jump cuts. So if you're going to go from a person, make sure if you are filming them before they come up on the screen for the first time, like as you're introducing them in your voiceover, make sure to kind of like cut to their hands, cut to their feet, cut to something that they're doing where their face is not showing before you show their face up for their actual interview. If you don't, that is considered a jump cut. You also need to make sure if you're using different pieces from their interview, like cutting the specific sound bites, that they have some type of B-roll in between them. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up, like I said, this is just going to be a black screen because I'm going to look for some, I don't have any video on my own desktop right now. So I'm just going to stick with what I've got right now. So y'all should pretty much know how to film different interviews correctly, and then film B-roll and film sequences. If you have any questions on that, go on to the NewsWatch YouTube and look at 480 packages and packages that our correspondents have aired. And I will tell you after your first time if you need to add some sequences or get more interviews or use less of an interview on there. So this is just a black screen, like I said. So I'm going to go ahead and take a piece of it. You can go in, you can select it up here in your source if you want to do that, and then O for out, I for in, and you can just drag it over here to your timeline. So it's going to say, does it want me to change my sequence settings? You do not want to change your sequence settings because you already have it set to be what it needs to export. So go keep existing settings. So then right here, this is actually a black screen right here that I have on it. So that is my video. This is just an interview audio. So therefore you're not able to see anything right now. So it's kind of be a little wonky, but I'm still going to teach you this. So just a couple basic things. You'll have your V1 and A1 here, and you'll need to make sure to go ahead and check that your audio levels are right. So for B-roll, so for video that you don't need to hear, it's just there for background purposes. So like if you have an interview with a musician and you have video of them playing, that audio needs to be between -24 and -36. I shoot for -36. So right here you can see that it's hitting this level about right here, and you're going to want it to be down here. So you can just go G and it'll bring up your audio gain, and I'm going to try -10 and see where that takes me. You can also go up to clip, audio options, audio gain, and that'll also bring that up for you. I'm going to cancel because I'm going to see where I'm at in my A1. So now it's hitting about -18 to -12. I want it less than that, so I'm going to go ahead and go to -5, see where that gets me. A little bit better. I probably need another -5, and probably another one. See, now it's hitting that peak, so I'm probably going to add about 3 to it. And then it's going to hit kind of where I want it, between that -36 and -24. So that's good for your background roll. Now, usually what I do when I do background audio, where that's my video and B-roll, what we call it, is I go ahead and put it in that A2 slot. This allows you to have different audio tracks and be able to level them out without mistaking them for your actual audio, so your A-roll, or your best, what we call like your top audio, which is going to be your voiceover and your interview. So I'm going to treat this little portion right here as my A-roll. So I'm going to go in and go like I, N, O, and kind of, to insert this from here, you're going to have to click on it and then just go insert if it's just an audio track. So when you do your voiceover, you're going to have to do that. Then I'm just going to go C here, and this is how you can cut through V. So let's just pretend that this is my package right here, and you can see that's my top audio, so my voiceover, my interview right here in this green one, and then in this blue one right here, that's my B-roll. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it up just to pretend that it's a package. Okay. So right now we need to check this audio. If you want to just work with one audio, come over to whichever slot that you don't want to hear, and you can hit this M and it mutes it. So now I can't hear anything from this audio track, so I can just work with my top audio. Alright, so I'm going to play it.
9 seizures from diabetes, so there's also having.
So this audio is pretty level out. I'm going to go ahead and move it down about 2. I'm going to do another -2. Okay, so that's hitting that peak at -12, which is where I want to be. The main thing that you want to make sure that you do is leveling out your audio, because you can easily tell when you go from like a 0 level track to a -12 level track. So you want to make sure that your interview audio is the same as your voiceover audio, and that all sounds the same. Otherwise, I'll teach you personally how to level out audio, but this is kind of why I'm doing this, so that I don't have to do that. And so now you can bring everything here, and now you're going to have your audio at that, hitting that -12 peak. Then you're going to have that background audio hitting at that -36 peak. And then for the last thing that you're going to want to do with your audio is come over here, and you can hit this arrow right here in this, your project space. go down to effects, and you're going to hit audio transitions, hit the little down arrow, and it's going to come up with crossfade. You're going to go down, and I go ahead and I put constant power in between each one of my B-roll audio tracks. So you can see I just put them in here. Now that just makes this really smooth in between, so that if audio is kind of uneven, then it really helps really make that background noise less noticeable, which you want it there to help carry along your story, but you don't want it to like blow up in somebody's face. So putting those in will really help. You also want to put that same constant power, you can really use any of them, I just use constant power, in between this audio, your main voiceover and interview tracks as well. We don't use transitions in between video though. It's only used to create a passing of time. So once you get editing really well, then you can play with doing that kind of stuff. But for now, just say rule of thumb, you're not going to use it. So lastly, we're going to do lower thirds. And it's kind of the last thing that you really need to know how to do. So I'm going to go into my NewsWatch graphics. So I'm just importing my NewsWatch lower third graphic. So pretend that this is B-roll right here, and this is my interviewee right here. So I'm going to go to the top of my interview, hit 1, 2, 3, so it's a couple seconds before they get up on the screen, and go ahead and put this NewsWatch lower third graphic onto my timeline. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. So you can see there's a little bit of space between when my interviewee comes up and when this comes up. Then you're going to go here, and you're going to go to Clip, Video Options, and then hit Scale to Frame Size. This is really important so that we have cohesion between everybody's packages. Then at the end, you're going to take this position, not that one, you're going to move this one all the way down to the bottom, and then that's what it needs to look like. Then you're going to go File, New, and hit Legacy Title. So you can just go name on this, and I interviewed Sean Fitzhenry. He's an Ole Miss student, so I'm going to go ahead and click here, and I'm going to type his name in all caps. And then you're going to want to change what this is. So you're going to want, I'm going to go ahead and see if I move so everything is better. You're going to want this font to be Arial Black for this top part, Arial Black regular, and your font size is going to be 68. Then all you're going to want to do is come to these and kind of, not that one, you want it both of them lined up on this line right here that I'm showing you. This other one, I can never get these right. You're going to want them in between, so where there's equal amount of space in between the top and the bottom part. So that is fine. That needs to be white as well. That's automatic. So then go ahead and click at the bottom of this white tab, and I'm going to say he is a sophomore at the university. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in, is sophomore. I'm going to highlight it again, and this one is going to be different. It's going to be Arial, and then go at this part, font style, and go to bold. And then you're going to come over to this font size, and it needs to be 42. Now this color is going to be different, so you're going to want to go to your fill right here, and you're going to go to the color. You're going to click on that white box where the color is, and you're going to hit up here where the black is. You're going to hit OK. Then again, I'm going to go back up to the top, go to my Y position, and get it kind of level between both. And then I'm going to go ahead and save everything that I just did. Make sure that you're saving on your laptops about every 5 minutes, because Adobe can crash. Alright, so then now I have this up, and I'm just going to put my name from my source box right here, and put it up here on top of it. So then that brings up the name on top of this NewsWatch lower third. Last thing I'm going to do with these are go apply, default, transitions, there we go. So then that's just when my interview viewee comes up, then it has that crosses off in and off, and you know exactly who they are. Every person who is on the screen for more than 5 seconds at a time needs to have a lower third graphic. So the first thing you need to ask somebody when you're doing an interview is, what's your name, and spell it for me. And your classification, if we're interviewing students, you can choose what else you want their lower third to say when they are not an Ole Miss student. Okay, so then my timeline looks pretty good. At the end, I want to make sure that from my audio that it doesn't just cut, because I need some type of padding, is what we call it, at the end to make sure that I can switch out of your package. So just go ahead and hit your last visual track. So whatever your B-roll is, you're going to hit it and you're going to go either Command L, or you're going to hit this and go File, Clip, and Unlink right here. I've already unlinked it, so I can't hit it. But File, Clip, Unlink. So now I can take just the visual track and extend it a little bit, so where on my audio is done,
just to make sure the sensor is off.
when my audio ends,
I used to do about 10.
I still have video up, but I'm able to cut out of this. And then, so you can hit this track, go Command M, or you go File, Export, and then Media. So then you're going to want your format to be H.264. Your preset is going to be high quality 1080p HD. And then you're going to make sure you want to title your output name whatever it is in Rundown. And I'm about to show you Rundown, but you're going to use the first 2 words of whatever Rundown says that your package is titled. So if in Rundown it says NewsWatch Correspondent Tutorial, I'm going to say NewsWatch Correspondent PKG, so that Artez knows in comp that it says NewsWatch Correspondent PKG and knows exactly where your package is. So then I'm going to save that, and you make sure it has export video, export audio, and then you're going to make sure this is all the way out. Everything's here in your timeline. So my package right now is 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Then I'm going to go ahead and click export. And usually on our laptops, they're just updating everything. So it'll probably take about 2 to 5 minutes to export everything. So we're just going to wait for that, and I'm going to fast forward to the rest of this part. Okay. So now that you've exported it, you can go ahead and find it. It'll be on your desktop. And then the next thing you're going to do is go into what we call the Rundown Creator. So I am going to just go to how you're going to log in the first time. It's going to come up, and you're going to want this one, Rundown Creator, and then you're going to go to log in, and you're going to type in NewsWatch, if I could type, .olemiss@gmail.com. Hit go. University of Mississippi's login page. Then your login as a correspondent is going to be correspondent, and then it's going to be NewsWatch, or if you're an anchor, then you're going to put in anchor and NewsWatch. I'm going to go ahead and log in as an anchor, and then NewsWatch. So then you'll have in your package for the day. I'm going to show you what it's going to look like for a correspondent to have a package in here. Well, let's go to Wednesday. So I'm going to go and use Kaylee as my example for our correspondent. So in Rundown, you're going to open it up, and it's going to have an intro for both of the anchors usually. So you're going to need to type this, then you're going to go into your second one, and then you're going to type your intro right here. Make sure this is your name, and this will be your intro that you're going to intro live. And then you'll see right here, this will already be in, take package, RTR, which is your runtime. So you're going to do the exact amount of time. So 1 minute and 36 seconds is exactly how long Kaylee's package was. And then your out cue. So that's the last 3 words that you say in your package before it comes back to you. So then you'll hit save and close. Right here in this package portion, you're not going to have anything. It's just going to be your estimated time. And then tag, you're going to have a tag for yours. So this again needs to be your name, and this needs to be your tag. This just concludes your package for you. So make sure that you come into Rundown and put all that in. Once you're done, we'll have Brian asking you if all of your scripts are put in, and he will come annoy you if they're not put in when it's close to showtime. So we really want your package done by 4:30, 4:40, so you have enough time to put everything in Rundown. If you want to go ahead and put your scripts in at the top of the time that you come in, that's fine. It'll make our lives a lot easier because we can go ahead and read them and edit them. Then you can export your package. Your package needs to be exported by 4:50 because that's 10 minutes out till showtime, and we have to load it into comp. So there's nothing you need to do right here, but a couple things you need to look at is you need to look at what your name is in Rundown. So Kaylee's name is right here. So this just means what anchor is going to be on camera introducing what is going on. And this right here just tells you what it's going to be. So this is the intro at desk for the anchor's intro in the newsroom for the reporter. This is the package, this is the tag in the newsroom. And then the writer is something you do need to pay attention to, because if you need to check the Rundown and see what all you're supposed to be writing to make sure you do it all correctly. And then set is really just telling you where you're going to be. So you can look at these 2 portions out here and say, oh, I need to write all these, and I'm going to be in the newsroom today, or at set, or actually at a live shot. For a live shot, this is kind of what it'll look like in Rundown. It'll say intro at desk, double box right here, live intro, live tag. And then you'll see the set is live. And then I'll have like tear deck. So that tells you you're going to be doing a live shot. I will also tell you beforehand if you'll be doing a live shot when you come in. All right, and I think that's pretty much all that you need to know. So if I'm Madison and I'm exporting my package, I need to title it Provost Forum PKG and put that in Dropbox. There's a Correspondent Bible I'm going to also be sending you. It'll have how to get into the Dropbox, just so you know, for the first day. And it'll have really all of this, but I thought a video might be a little bit easier to watch. So let me know if you have any questions, and let me and Brian know if you need any help on your first day, but I know it'll be awesome. And whenever you get confused or something, refer to this video, refer to your Correspondent Bible, and you'll be just fine.